You are not your thoughts. There is a thing I hear all the time on Instagram and books, everywhere else. But what does this exactly mean? Because people think this is like some woohoo thing, woohoo topic. I don't want this to sound aggressive, my friend, but we are kinda retarded, including you watching this video, me as well. Because when we started to get involved in the society, because when we were born, we were pure, we had no fucking idea what this world is about. But when we got involved in how this world works, we got retarded. We started thinking that what our minds produce is us. Because we feel emotions, right? We feel anger, we feel love, we feel passion, joy, guilt, jealousy. We feel those emotions and they are so strong that we started to think that, okay, I am this emotion right now in this moment. No, you're not, bro. It's a huge problem because when you go about your everyday life and somebody raises their voice on you, you get angry. You get these thoughts like, damn, I wanna kill this motherfucker. But that's not you, bro. You're just reacting to your thoughts. Your thoughts are not you. What you are is the observer behind those thoughts. You are the guy who is experiencing those thoughts, not the thoughts itself. This is easily one of the main reasons why people get so emotional when somebody calls them a name. And this is also a reason why the world is fucked up the way it is, because we can't even process our emotions. We can't even process our thoughts. We can't even stay with our thoughts. People are addicted to phones, bro. People don't even know how to stay still for even 10 minutes every single day because they're so addicted. And also the reason why this is important is because every time you go into a shop, for example, and there's like a big queue that you need to fucking wait, you start to feel frustrated and you start to have negative thoughts, negative emotions in your mind, and you start to personalize them. You start to think that this is you right now. You are a negative person. That's what you think. But some people, when they feel that, they start reacting, they start shouting, they start criticizing something. They start raising their voice for no reason at the cashier or something. They start fighting at worst case scenarios. So what this basically means is if you think you are your thoughts, you are not in control of your life. Because your life is controlled by your mind. And if you're not in control of this little thing inside of your fucking head, inside of your skull, you are not in control of everything that's happening around you because your mind paints your reality. So to take control of this thing, which also, the drill, takes control of everything around you, you have to realize you are not your thoughts. It's so simple, but it's so life-changing that if you actually listen to this and you think, okay, this guy must be on smoke because this means something to me, I understand this. And if you understand this, the next part of this video will change you. To understand why we think like this, we have to go back into the causes of this. If we are not aware of why this happened to us, how can we make sure we don't do it again in the future, right? We need to find the cause of what this is. You, my friend, are holding that shit in your hands right now. And if you are watching this on a computer, you have it just by your fucking desk. It's your phone. But not really your phone. It's something inside of that phone, my friend. There are apps like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever. I don't even know any more apps. I'm a boomer. And those apps, my friend, are specifically made to be addictive. Those apps are developed by some weird guys in cubicles working on ideas on, okay, how can we make this app more addictive? How can we make sure that he stays there longer? How can we make sure that this keeps him in this loop of scrolling longer and stronger? How can we make sure he engages, see more ads so we make more money? Do you realize that? They are making money off of your addiction. It's no different to selling cocaine and profiting from it. Yet we normalize this. We let them do it to ourselves. Why? Because we like it. Why do we like it? Because we have no other thing to do in our lives. Why not? Because they brainwashed you to think you are not good enough with those fucking apps. They are putting their beliefs inside of your mind to brainwash you, to not be powerful, to not take control of this thing, which controls everything around you. They want you to think you are your thoughts. That's far from truth, bro. My friend, we need to stand the fuck up and not use these apps as much as we do. Because those nerds at those cubicles, they are profiting from this. They are literally trying to make you more addicted. The more retarded we get, the more money they make. Do you realize this? We are getting retarded with these apps. That's one of the reasons why I read a book I'm gonna show you in a second. But it's also one of the reasons, if not the main reasons, why I quit this shit long ago. I used to be like the guy who posted on Instagram every time I went on a hike with my brothers. Every time I was in the gym, I took pictures, so that I can post it on my story, so that people would see that and I would get attention from women, But I realized, like, okay, if I can look at this and see that it's harming my life in many ways, why should I be doing this? Right now, as we speak, I am on the rebirth, which is like a protocol I created for myself and my friends and eventually for you. It's a protocol where you kill your old self, raise your lower consciousness into a high level of consciousness, high states of bliss, zen, and become the highest version of yourself. That's what this protocol is for me. I'm on day 37 today as we speak. It's 29th of October 2025, day 37. I see the changes, and the reason I did this is because I noticed that before I was on this, I was so fucking addicted to my phone. I'm recording this on my phone, ironically, and I couldn't even do anything that I wanted to do. I couldn't read, I couldn't work, I couldn't be with my mother, I couldn't be with my dog. When I was with my friends, I couldn't really focus on what they were saying because I was worried about what my phone might give me right now. Can I get some messages? Can I get some fucking, I don't know what? I hated myself. I almost killed myself. There was a night when I was lying in my bed and I was like, fuck, my life has become a fucking mess. I don't want to live this life. And my friend, if I was a little bit weaker back then, you wouldn't be watching this video. And those nerds are profiting from that little moment on my bed. So the reason I'm making this video is because after those 37 days on my rebirth, I found out the truth. I always heard this, you are not your faults, but I never understood it fully. So now that I understand it, I want to give this knowledge to you. There are a few tactical things that you can do. I'm gonna share 2 of them. 3 of them actually. I'm gonna share 3 of them right now with you. 1 of them you can do right away. 2 of them are a little bit complicated. I'm gonna explain that later. There is a solution to this. There is a solution to all of this bullshit that the modern world is throwing our way. One of those solutions is sit in silence every single day and observe. Read, listen, and just observe everything that's happening around you, but most importantly within you. Just observe, listen to what's happening. You're gonna see that your brain will do this. It's gonna run in circles with thoughts, ideas, what you did in the past, what you wanna do in the future. And it's always gonna just run in circles. Because you're not used to doing this. You're not used to being silent. You're used to scrolling on your phone and stimulating yourself. So the moment you sit still with yourself, which is the thing they don't want us to do because it makes you fucking powerful, you're gonna see that the moment a thought comes up to your mind, if you don't try to change it or attach to it, it's gonna just leave. And what's gonna left is a silence. And that silence is you. You're gonna feel that observer. You're gonna feel yourself finally after all those years of trying to buy some materialistic shit to fill the empty void inside of you, which is never fulfilled because it's like a bucket with a hole at the bottom. You're always trying to fill it with water, but it slowly gets drained. And you wanna buy more shit to fill it up again, but it always gets drained. So the moment you sit in silence, at least for 10 minutes, 15 minutes every single day, you're gonna start noticing that, okay, my faults are not me. So which means when I get mad at my girlfriend for cheating on me, okay, that was a little bit extreme. When I get mad at something that happened, I can just observe that thought. And over like a period of 5 to 10 seconds, it's going to disappear. And all those actions you would take if it didn't disappear, if you actually attached to it, those actions are not existent anymore because you probably would hit a wall, you would slap somebody, you would slap yourself. But now that you observed that thought, and you are aware that you are not that thought. You are able to just let it go. And this is so fucking powerful, bro, that I really hope you understand what I'm saying, because if you do, your life will never be the same. You're just gonna be that one guy who's never gonna be like everybody else. When you meet low vibrational people, you're gonna be like, damn, I don't wanna be with them. I met a girl yesterday. She was speaking. I didn't really want to be there because she was so unaware of everything that's happening around her. She was so attached to her mind. It just felt like the more time I spent with her, the less of a person I became. I don't know if you understand it. Basically, I didn't want to be with her because I realized she's a low vibrational being, and that's not her problem. We all were at some point. So you're gonna feel like the outcast in a very good way. You're gonna meet people who are high vibrational when you yourself are gonna become high vibrational as well. And that life is absolutely fucking amazing. The two other things you can do, tactical shit, ego death and what? Race consciousness. Ego death and the race consciousness. That's two other things you can do. Ego death is very hard to achieve. I achieved it myself. I'm gonna tell you a story. And the race consciousness, that's also a difficult thing to do. I teach that inside of my school community. It absolutely changes everybody that gets on it. I've seen people change. Oh my God. I can't even speak enough. But ego death, I'm gonna tell you quickly. That basically means you disconnect from your ego. People try to build a huge ego about themselves and live with it. That's the worst thing you can do, by the way. Sometimes people experience it on drugs, doing some extremely hard physical things. You go into exhaustion so much that you are forced to surrender your ego. That's what happened to me. When we were on my first hike in my entire life, I was sitting in my friend's car in the back seat and I was looking at this big fucking hill. And I was looking at it and I'm like, bro, that doesn't look like a fucking mountain you can climb in 24 hours. And my friend started laughing like, yeah, you're right. Because this was our first hike, yeah? So we started hiking up the trail and I realized, bro, my backpack is so fucking heavy. I was literally feeling it tearing my shoulders apart. My traps were hurting, this part of the body. And I realized this is simply because of one reason. I planned this hike to not eat anything before this. I wanted to hike up fasted, which is a fucking huge mistake looking back. Because your body burns through fuel, through nutrients, through water, that you need to get something at least in your system because you're gonna say. So I just had 2 big ass water bottles in my backpack and a few like flapjacks that I will eat at the top of the hill, top of the mountain. So we're hiking up this hill, everything is fine. At some point, it was about 300 meters below the summit. At this point, I got so fucked up that I couldn't even walk. Every walk, every step felt like I had 50-pound weights strapped onto my legs. I couldn't walk. Every time I moved my arm, I saw rainbows following it, you know. Imagine you wave your arm like this and you see a rainbow following it. I didn't understand what's happening. I was hallucinating. I couldn't even breathe. So I said, okay, boys, I have to stop. So I stopped. I ate something, which I didn't achieve my goal of hiking it up fasted. So we continued the hike. I still felt pretty shit, but much better than before. But then the hardest part of the hike was about to come. There came a point when people started turning around. There was only 3 of us, my friends and me. Because at this point, the wind picked up so much that you could fucking hear it, like in your ears, screeching. You know that fucking weird sound the wind makes when it's too strong. And there was snow. There was waist deep snow. And the only way we could go to the summit was through the fucking hill. Because at this point, the path that we were supposed to take is covered by snow. So we're walking up this hill and every step makes me hallucinate more and more and more. And this became so fucking difficult to even walk, to take every step, that I suddenly felt like I let go of something. And I don't even know what that was back in the moment, because I was purely survival. purely. But at the same time, I felt like something was watching over me, and that was the reason why I was calm as well at this moment. It was one of the hardest moments in my life, but I was calm, which is very interesting. And I felt extreme love towards myself, towards my friends, and towards everything around me. That's what ego death feels like. And at this moment, I realized that every thought that entered my system was not mine, which means it's not me. And that's what ego death can do for you. Ever since this happened, I am not the same. I don't have an ego. I have love for everything, for you. Even though I don't know who you are, I have love for you, bro, because I know what you're going through and I'm here to help you. That's why I'm making videos like this. That trip completely changed my life. And I did it with no drugs, if you want to ask me. Yeah, this was done completely sober. So yeah, I can teach you how to achieve ego death with very little effort. This was a little bit extreme. There are ways to achieve ego death and raise your consciousness without anything like this. I think you're gonna really love this. So if this sounds something that you would like to do, click the second link in the description. I teach exactly that in my school community. But also if you're interested in the Rebirth, which is a free protocol I created for you, it changed literally everybody, bro, including me. Then click this video right now, and after you watch that, click the first link in the description to join our free Discord server where we all are doing this. You get access to it like instantly when you join, yeah? So I'm gonna see you inside, my friend. We go above and beyond. Bye-bye!